I'll take it. Trib1 says, can wokeness come from the right? The feeling, not the term, I mean. For example, Pam wanting to go after people for hate speech.
Yeah.
How is that not woke?
So
That sounds
I
so
have a
woke, and I
definition
hate the
that can
fact.
apply to both the left and the right. It's
I hate
anybody
that
who
she
is.
chose that wording, though. That's all I was going to say. Sorry.
It's anybody who is lying, obfuscating the information, or violently ignorant to push their own political agenda.
Anybody celebrating Jimmy Kimmel getting fired is woke as fuck.
He
The
earned
woke
it, though.
right
I mean,
exists.
I mean, he's not
it's a
funny.
thing now.
Yeah,
He should have been
Yeah,
fired
I
a long
think-
ass time ago.
Yeah, I was going to say his numbers were already dropping anyways, so it
Right.
was like, is
It's
it worth
expected.
it? Maybe, yeah.
Right,
I'm
no,
celebrating him.
Brady.
Comedy went to shit after he left the man show. I'm celebrating him being.
Hey,
I'm celebrating him being fired, but not because I'm woke, but because he's one of the guys that ruined late night television.
that's right.
That's a fact.
Angry man. Do you remember when he used to dress up as Carl Malone? And he'd be like, I'm Carl Malone. And he'd say the dumbest shit in blackface.
I used to
I like
watch
chicken wings.
the Man show.
Yeah.
I used to watch that show.
Me
and,
too.
and to watch him look, to watch him transform into this thing that he's become.
Crying all the
Him
time.
and Kevin Smith, but that's a whole nother. I don't want to go into
They
that.
both
but,
cry all
Kevin
the time.
Smith disappoints me.
oh, bruh, disappointment is an understatement. But
He
this
crying.
whole thing, that's another reason why I don't like wokeness, because of the transformation of people that I actually watched and in some cases looked up to in the 90s, and they've transformed into these panty waists that run around constantly crying about bullshit that's irrelevant.
That's a good thing you bring up there, Angry Man. Remember when
You
Ryan
guys
said
were all
that
just
it was
crying about how people were
You get-
saying straight people are bad. You
Gotta
guys
get just
were
a
just
second.
crying this whole night about it.
You know what?
I said you guys were all just crying a little while ago about how the people on the other side were saying, "Oh, straight traditional people are bad." I thought you guys were the guy who didn't give a fuck about that.
Bro,
No,
all
I
you-
said
Y'all
that.
didn't give a fuck
Bro,
about calling names.
hold on,
or
let
anything
me
like
address them, bro. All you do is cry when you come up here with your unironic icon, bro. Like you come up here and you whine and you complain about people whining and complaining. It's the goofiest shit in the world, but you think you're morally superior or intellectually superior because you come up here and try to point out everybody's flaws in their logic and shit. And it's so cliche and boring and pedestrian, bro.
I got a flaw in some logic to bring up. You know, Ryan said earlier
You
that
basically just said like what we all do on this
hey,
panel.
Scooby Dooby. But yeah,
Absolutely.
Ryan was saying earlier that people, go to the right side because it makes them more money. Why is Jimmy Fallon so fucking woke all of a sudden? It was to make money, right? It was the cheat fucking code. As Ryan said, we were doing the cheat code. I don't make a fucking dime being not woke.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
different classes.
Speaking of money, Bishop
I will
sends
pull
in
your
5
ponytail.
to say my fault.
Right.
Chuck in Tennessee
Fuck
says,
you,
Sarah, new idea. Everyone talk at once. Yeah, I might actually just let it rip for 2 minutes and give you guys a moment. Long
Ew,
Live
too
Liberty
farty.
is requesting the horse video, and I will so politely
What is a woman?
oblige.
This message is sponsored in part by.
There you go.
She's got great
JB,
genes.
JB says, woke, the idea that groups with fewer resources, social and economic, only have less because they have been systematically oppressed, and that forced redistribution from the majority is justified on that basis. And you were actually speaking to this earlier in the beginning, Angry Man, about people make themselves their own like victims.
Yeah, it's basically Marxism, what she's describing right there. Marxism, socialism, communism, that same crap. Oh, we have less because we're marginalized, so we need everybody to redistribute everything, as if everything isn't going to rise back to the top anyway. Like, it's the goofiest shit in the world.
Yeah,
It's just a justification mechanism to steal other people's shit.
I
Exactly.
agree. Like you have that, I want it, but I don't want to earn it. So therefore, I'm going to make you just give it to me because you should feel bad. Trib says Flo's choice for who to boot, or Sarah's choice if she's feeling frisky. Do we think it's okay what the chairman of the FCC said? Do y'all think it's overstepping their place in media by threatening companies? Number 1, Flo, pick 2 to boot, please.
Oh, 2 to boot.
I'm going to be taking off here.
1 to boot. I'm sorry. Say
Okay.
anyone.
Well, then I don't choose you. Crew neck.
Crew neck. All right. Vapor to the back.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually jealous of Effigy's icon. The fact that it's animated and shit.
Stop backpedaling. It was funny.
It's just a GIF. I'm just playing. I don't know if that's what it is.
And then anybody have any remarks on what the chairman of the FCC said?
Crazy overstep. His job is to enforce rules on the books, not to make personal commentary about the whole thing's fucking crazy. I'll probably end up doing a stream about it.
Are you going to start it by going, well, the FCC won't let me be or let me be me, so let me see.
I might now.
I'm sorry. What I'm live under a rock. What did the FCC chairman say?
I don't want to paraphrase it off.
Basically said you do something about Kimmel or we're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
He threatened
the broadcasters hosting Kimmel. And so that's why Kimmel's
they threatened their license.
Maybe he was just.
But this is what happens when you allow. This is what happens when you allow it to get this far, to go this
pendulum
far.
Is just swinging at this point.
No, you said what?
I said the pendulum is just
quoted
swinging at
as
this
saying
point.
against this.
I mean, when you
is quoted as saying he would never do this like a year ago.
Yeah, but then he just did it.
And he just did it. Here's the thing: for everybody that's crying, for everybody that's upset about Jimmy Kimmel and saying this is overreach, where were you guys when they kicked Roseanne off her own damn show?
I know, right?
I don't know. That's whataboutism, though. Like, I wasn't aware of it at the time.
Really,
I'm aware of this.
They must have been hiding in the.
The U.S. government didn't.
But again,
threaten
let's be realistic, though. If you're a celebrity or an actor or somebody that is the face of something, right, and you represent a particular like ABC network, Fox, Disney, whatever TV show, yada yada yada, like. If you represent them by being on their screen, they have the right to choose to say, hey, we don't want to be represented by whatever you say.
If you have a government regulatory agency telling a private company which employees to fire or not, that is fascism because that's a merger of state and corporate interests.
I do agree with that. Unless there's some kind of I don't know.
Okay, but that's fair. That's fair, but you can't. But you can't. You can't wait until the right is doing it to all of a sudden grab the torch.
I started as soon as I became aware of something like this. That's when I started.
Well, yeah, he did.
Well, you may have done that. You may have done that, but there's a large portion of the country that completely ignored this when Biden first got elected. And they were coming after everyone, like they went after
Facebook. And they're in the wrong. They should apply it uniformly, like you're actually not doing right now because you're justifying applying it ununiformly.
I am.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Hey man, get back is a mofo. That's all I'm saying. The get back is a mofo.
Eclipse says Destiny is very a pastiche in his salmon shirt. I like your shirt.
This is pink. What's wrong with that?
Very
pink.
Wear salmon.
Salmon is a little bit more fleshy. Yeah.
And Trip says Kimmel was the second most popular late night show host. TV in general is down. That's because we got all of your attention over here on YouTube. You ain't watching TV because you got us. It's a right-wing lie to say he wasn't popular comparatively. He's basically the most popular for his position, facts over feels. That doesn't mean his numbers weren't declining, though. And this was not a business decision. This was a regulatory threat. So it was a reaction. It doesn't matter what his numbers were doing at all. Yeah.
Are they getting
government money forever ago?
And Realistic Heart says, with a big hundo, hello, Realistic Heart, welcome over to this side of town. When you take intersectionality to its logical extreme, it spirals into the individual. That's the paradox.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think
how does
they talk about intersectionality.
Collectivism is pretty leftist.
So, guys, I have a very important thing to say because I'm going to be taking off here in a minute, but just follow along. No interruptions, please. So there's 3 soldiers
anyway, like we
in
were
the
saying,
middle of the
telling me
desert.
to not, is he over here telling my
stop.
panel
I'm
what
sorry.
to do?
There's 3
I'm
soldiers
kidding.
in the middle of the desert, and they're all on their last legs because they've been lost for 3 days straight. They're marching along, and off in the distance, they see a tree. They end up pulling out their binoculars, and they look closer, and there's bacon hanging off of the tree. And they're like, oh my God, it's a bacon tree. We're safe. So they start running for it. And then all of a sudden, they hear a gunshot, and one guy drops to the ground. They hear another gunshot, and the second guy drops to the ground. The last guy stops. He ducks down, looks at the bacon tree, and looks back at his friends and tells them, I knew it wasn't a bacon tree. It was a ham bush.
That is so foul, dude.
That is
foul.
so
Wow,
bad.
what a way to make an egg.
He won the internet.
That was a dad joke extraordinaire.
Yes, winning the night.
Like, I think that we all have another kid on the way after that joke.
Oh my
Hope
goodness.
not.
That was such a dad joke. It got all of our women pregnant.
You know what?
Shut
You're
up.
probably right.
Why would you want to put that kind of bad juju on anybody, Flo?
Hey, it's okay. We don't all have to do the work now. We can just sit back
What,
and
you guys
relax and
on
let
the
him
right, you
take
need
over.
to start breeding more so you can quit, shipping all the Browns over.
Dude, I'm a reformed Pookie. I got plenty of kids.
You are a reformed
Pookie.
Pookie, aren't you?
What the? I don't even.
What's a reform?
100%, sir.
Ah, never
100%.
Wait a minute.
But I'm the
You-
powdered
you can-
dusty, man. Get out of here.
Wait a minute. You can reform Pookies?
Yeah, you can, man. You can. It just takes a lot of work.
At how
that's
many
sweet.
years?
How many years?
I don't know, sir. I don't know how many
There's a
years.
double entendre.
Okay, but I personally don't feel bad for Jimmy Kimmel. I do see where this type of thing can be bad if taken to an extreme. But I'm sorry, guys like Jimmy Kimmel ruined late night television. I
don't like Kimmel either. I'm not advocating for Kimmel. I'm advocating against the FCC chairman.
It's not about Kimmel.
Kimmel was horrible.
The government did.
Himmler,
Who cares
yes.
what we think about Jimmy Kimmel? He's a rich dude. He'll be fine. I don't care that he lost a job. I care how the job was lost. I care that the FCC chair stuck his fucking nose in there and fucking strong-armed a company to do something. Like, that's not cool. That
But
is
haven't they been doing
all
that
the
with
times we talk about free speech? This was actually against free speech.
Hasn't the government been doing that with social media for the last 10 years?
Whataboutism. That's whataboutism.
No, I need to know for sure.
No, I'm saying we've been dealing with restrictions and regulations just on social media platforms. I mean, we're the ones
Do
that
you like free speech or not? Do you agree with free speech or not? Yes or no?
I do.
Yes.
I agree with free
Then who
speech, but free speech also comes with consequences of free speech.
So, which would be less free speech. So you don't actually agree with free speech.
No, I'm saying you have freedom. You have freedom of
no.
speech. You don't have freedom from consequences of your speech, sir.
No, the government coming down on you is not a natural consequence of having free speech.
I understand that. I understand that, and I'm not saying that what the FCC did was right.
So you need to shit or get off the pot, Snowman. Do you want free speech or not?
Okay.
I told you I agree with free speech.
We
Free
want
speech
free
comes with
speech,
consequences.
Well,
We
that
want
doesn't
free
mean
speech, but
society. Well, and I'm not saying this is what happened to Jimmy Kimmel, but we're not saying that society can't come and disapprove
Why are you
of
making
what
the argument?
of what you say. I'm
Why are
not
you
making
making
the
that-
argument.
You're making a point. You're beating up a straw man over here. That's not
Well-
what happened to Kimmel, and you acknowledged that before you then started fighting the straw man.
Well, you're just asking, do you believe in free speech, right? That like.
Yes, which means that the government can't interfere with my speech. Not
Right.
not random dudes come and make me lose my job. The government can't get involved.
Are we even 100% sure that he lost his job as to what the FCC leader said, or did he lose his job because of multiple instances of him saying stupid shit on his show over the past 10 fucking years?
Because you haven't looked into it.
Okay, but this is
I can look into it in a minute and a half, man.
Problem with this.
Go look
this-
into it. Come back in a minute.
This is the problem with this. And you're going to say it's whataboutism, but I really don't give a shit. This is the problem with this. The problem with this is every single time there's an instant like this, right? We always expect the right to take the moral high road. We always expect the right to be the most patriotic. We always expect the right to be the standard. But then when it comes time for the left to be in charge, they do whatever the hell they want to do.
Because,
we're trying to maintain a standard. If we're going to maintain a standard, we have to maintain it across the board. It can't just be.
Agree. I agree. It needs to be maintained across the board. I actually think that anybody who identifies too strongly with either the right or the left is retarded. That's basically everybody on Earth. You're all retarded. It's really the concern is the powers with the non-powers, right? Government versus people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bigger concern than right versus left. So,
absolutely.
Easy.
And JB says leftists are offended by the right making basic distinctions. The right is offended by people being deceitful and ghoulish. We are not the same.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel was released because of the comments about Kirk. It didn't have anything to do with the FCC, dude. He got fired before the guy from the FCC said what he said on Fox, man. It didn't have shit to do with what he said.
No, it's not
Chuck
on Fox.
Says, Chuck says, Brick, pick 4. However, he says 5 minutes each, but because there's a line backstage, it's not timed when there's a line. So they have to sit back there until they get traded back out or somebody leaves. So, Brick, pick 4.
We'll take the 3 in the bottom middle.
I guess I could remove the names.
Sam Hyde, Effigy, and Hitman. That's not Sam Hyde. Sorry, dude.
K, Effigy, and Hitman.
Yeah, and I guess because Brandon has been panel sitting a little bit, I'll pick him too. I'm trying to be fair to the people who would want the conversation. So,
hey, Nick, off those suckers and stand in your square. Good choices. Good choices.
Wait, who is the 4th person? I'm sorry.
Brandon.
Brandon.
I like that guy's forehead. It matches the top of his head very well. He's got like this whole thing where his skin matches. It's crazy. Angry man, I'm glad to know that you're Mexican. Like he was telling us earlier. Oh wait, no, never mind. Sorry, that's not what you were saying.
Benny Johnson. It wasn't CNN or whichever network source you claimed. The original threat was made on Benny Johnson, which is a podcast.
Benny Johnson.
If we go back to the Kimmel firing,
I know Benny Johnson.
It should have been Fallon. It should have been Fallon, but
I think it should be all of them at the end, right?
But also, I don't support it. I don't support it. I think the issue with it is like collective blame and collective guilt. I think most people who aren't hard left or hard right are generally really put off by that when somebody throws something on your plate and says, you should feel like shit about this, or you should do something about this. Most people don't respond well to that. And I think that the conclusion of those sorts of politics, at least from the left over the last while, has been things like cancellation, cancel culture, and sometimes censorship. And so the right weaponizing this from a reactionary perspective to say, okay, remember when the left used to cancel you? Remember when you couldn't say X, Y, and Z? It seems then weird to go into this sort of like, when they have the mantle of power, it seems weird that they would then kind of double down on those policies and in some ways make them worse, right? I think the First Amendment attacks from like Trump, the GOP, Trump is just a figurehead.
Why you don't like Fallon?
I think Fallon is corny. Like Kimmel, they're both.
He wasn't
corny.
even funny
Fallon's
on
got a
Saturday
corny
Night
laugh.
Live.
Fallon's got a corny laugh. It rubs me the wrong.
I'm sorry.
He likes to laugh into the camera too.
Here's my thing. I'm not a huge fan of Fallon. I like
only
him better.
thing he did that was funny was Night at the Roxbury. That was it.
Nah, bro. Look, let me tell you something. Jimmy Fallon playing, pretending to be Barry Gibb is freaking hilarious. I don't care what nobody says. That shit was funny as hell.
Was he in Night at the Roxbury? I don't remember him being in that.
He was not in Night at the Roxbury.
He was.
Oh no, wait! It was the other dude that kind of looked like him.
You talking about Chris Kattan?
Yeah,
and Will Ferrell. Like that was years before Fallon started on there.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, they're the same person, man. They look the same. They're both white. They're Mexican.
We all look the same. I'm a little bit blue, honestly. If you look at the skin shade,
Can somebody correct me? But I don't think anybody of high power had anything to do with Fallon. I heard it was multiple like smaller stations that collectively decided not to.
They didn't collectively decide. They got collectively. They're owned by a parent company. It's Sinclair, I believe. The biggest media broadcasting company in the world. Said is pulling all of its small local affiliates shows of Kimmel.
Wow.
Yeah, and Disney is the one that owns them at the end, and Disney said that he's fired indefinitely.
Big corporations using big government to do political silencing.
I don't know, man. I'm saying, like,
don't know. That's why I'm encouraging you to look into it.
I did look into it, and I came
Paramount.
away with the conclusion that Disney, the people who own the network that he was on, fired him for his comments over Kirk. That's what every single news website says, and it says that the FCC head.
How many websites did you look at in 5 minutes, Trippy?
Brendan Carr, literally the head of the FCC, said it's only the first shoe to drop, meaning like we're taking the fuck over. All right, we're done with this bullshit on this whole woke thing. Fallon fucked up how many fucking times over the last like 10 years? He has made stupid comment after stupid comment.
So do
he's
you
called
agree
people
with free
fascist.
speech
He's
or
called people fucking all sorts of names.
Do you like free speech or not?
I don't give a fuck if it was free speech or not.
Well, I'm asking you your position on the topic.
He helped to radicalize people like Tyler Robinson. He helped to fucking radicalize people who will assassinate people.
You
it
need to
doesn't
have
matter if it's free speech or not, dude.
I haven't heard that one yet, bro.
So you're not a fan
I
of
don't give a fuck if you heard it or not yet, Mr. fucking beard face over there with your little stupid fucking hat and your stop sign. I don't give a fuck what you said either, Dusty, who's trying to call everybody else woke and trying not to sit on one side when your fat fucking ass is literally more right-leaning than half the panel, you idiot. Because you don't look into what you're actually talking about, and you just want to be the funny little Fred Durst guy.
No, you are woke. You don't have any idea.
I don't need to be fucking woke to see reality.
Reality.
I am not woke because I see reality. Jimmy Fallon ruined his own damn job and got fired over his own behavior because that's what happens after time passes if you keep being stupid on the fucking airwaves. And if you keep putting yourself out there like that,
saying things that people that makes the government mad, then the government will have your job fire you. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not because he made the government mad. It's because he lost all of his fucking viewers. He did nothing but make his own show worse and worse over time, and he lost his job eventually. Do you realize how many times he got away with that kind of stupid shit?
And he should get away with it forever. Everybody should get away with saying whatever.
No, he shouldn't.
The government should not be. So you don't believe in free speech at all?
No, what I am saying is that when you have a television show and all you're doing is killing your own ratings, eventually you get let the fuck go. Usually, right?
By your employer.
No, he was being protected by his woke ideology, and now that's over with. We don't have to keep kowtowing to it.
Who is the entity that was protecting him?
All of fucking media. The people who put gay people in every TV show, trans people in every TV show, the people who make as Angry Man had put it earlier, when there's a white protagonist who's not a white protagonist, where there's a female protagonist.
Sinclair, the biggest media company in the world as far as local broadcasters go, is the one that pulled them from all their.
Disney made the decision. The owners of Sinclair.
So okay, right.
Disney made the decision.
Huge companies that are protecting wokeness actually didn't protect his wokeness.
After time, look, they kept losing out every time they protected his wokeness, so they let him go in the effort to make money, man. It's not about woke for them.
Effort
after
to keep
all this time.
He lost his show. You have both big business and government regulation.
He lost his fucking show because he was stupid for all that time, and they just now gave him the repercussions. Is that hard to believe?
Stop attacking Kimmel and start defending the government's actions here.
I'm not defending the government's actions. I'm defending the actions of the company that owns the show that he ruined. How about that?
You're right. They should fire him.
They should have let him go a long time ago. We agreed.
Put out of business by the regulator.
He didn't get put out of business. The guy made the comment after Jimmy Kimmel was fired, and he took credit for it.
No. Bro,
look into it. You keep telling me to look into it. You're over there on fucking Grok.
There, I'll play.
Are you on Grok or ChatGTP, or is it Google?
I'm on X.
So you're Grok then.
You've been looking into this for 10 minutes. I looked
into it a little bit more than that before I came on.
Yeah. So the FCC,
we both like sowing a little controversy.
You don't think the FCC chairman threatened the company?
Afterwards, after he was fired.
How could
he put out a threat to the rest? Maybe not specifically to Kimmel, but he put out a threat to the rest. And I don't think a single network is going to be willing to pick up Jimmy Kimmel because they know that he's not going to make their network money.
Because all of them have to adhere to the regulations of the FCC.
It doesn't matter.
They can't pick him up.
Well, I mean, of course, everybody has to adhere to the thing, the FCC, except for us on the internet as of right now until they take that over. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the FCC is run by right-leaning people, or do you think is it run by the same people who ran it when Biden was in there?
It doesn't matter what tribe is running it. What matters is that you have a government institution silencing private citizens, and
they're not silencing private citizens.
Telling private businesses what the fuck to do. Yes.
No, they're telling public businesses and public citizens. You think that Jimmy Fallon would be considered a private citizen?
Public business.
A public business, yes.
There's private. You understand that something that's publicly traded on the stock market is still a private company?
Either way, it's owned by what? One single entity, one single person? Or is it owned by a corporation? Is it owned by a corporation? Does it have many, many people who all put their heads together to decide things?
You tell me, which one is public ownership? Is it owned by a corporation or owned by a person? What's the difference between public and private ownership?
I'm not 100% sure. Why don't you fill me in?
I know the fuck you're not.
Well, why don't you fill me in
So
since
why
you know
are
it
you
so well?
arguing with me if you don't understand?
Why don't you tell me since you know so well? Pink shirt. Come on, man. Come on. Just tell me. It should be fast. I know it's not going to be a long.
A public entity is a government entity, basically. A private entity is owned by private parties. So even if it's a publicly traded company, meaning anybody, you or I, can buy shares in Coca-Cola, it's still privately owned. I'm a private person. I'm not a government entity. So when I buy a share of Coke,
right. So when Disney made the announcement that he was fired indefinitely, what do you blame the FCC for that? Because Disney made the decision to finally get rid of the guy that was losing their money. You know, Disney's been losing money on movies too.
Are you saying that the government coercion didn't have anything to do with his firing?
It probably didn't. It never did before, did it? Because what? The government just wasn't saying anything about him radicalizing people and helping out insano people think about what they're going to do with their gun?
Wall Street Journal. Disney pulls Jimmy Kimmel show after Kirk remarks. Right
after
there.
Kirk, yeah, Wall Street Journal says that. Fucking
after Kirk
CNN remarks. Says that it was before he said that. So which one's right? CNN or Wall Street Journal?
4 chapters that he wrote in Project 2025.
Project 2025 is what it is. Did you read it? Did you read all the pages, Dusty? I mean, not Dusty. Sorry. Sorry, Dusty. I know you did.
Bro.
Maddie, did you read through all the thing, or are you just going to complain about it because you heard other people complain about it?
940 pages twice, bro. I did.
So I appreciate you so much right now. I've never heard someone fight so hard for free speech the way that I do. Thank you.
Hey, man. Look, I am all for free speech, but he kind of ran out of viewers. The viewers got tired of his free speech.
The question actually came in for you, Flo. Dusty, a better question for Snow Vader would be, are you a free speech absolutionist? And this was in reference to earlier.
I'm not a free speech
or not.
No, I'm not a free speech absolutist.
And I don't even know that I am really, but
if Biden's FCC guy would have done this to like Fox News, right, we would all say that that's fucked up, dude. Nobody on this side would say that that's not fucking right. Okay.
You said what? You said what? What did he say? Say that again.
If Biden's FCC chairman went to Fox News and told them to pull a fucking show off because it hurts my feelings.
You mean like how they kicked Tucker off of there?
Yeah, they kicked Tucker off of there.
Beck.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Y'all are literally saying shit
I'm
that
not
already
advocating for
happened.
that. I'm saying that it's fucking wrong and it's fascism, just like Flo.
Well, what about Dan Bongino?
I appreciate you, Flo.
Well, what about the countless conservatives? What about the countless conservatives that had their
I didn't have my mouse in my hand.
shut down?
right. I felt it.
What about Steven Crowder, man? He got kicked off of Fox too.
Are you referring to the countless conservatives that had their bank accounts shut down?
Oh, see, he doesn't even know. Like,
wasn't Crowder like a camera guy?
Why don't we start now? Since we can't change the past, right? All the what about is we all missed a bunch of shit in the past, right? But we can look at the situation now and say,
that's stupid.
Right now, moving forward,
that's
do
stupid.
we agree with this?
That's stupid. The reason why it's stupid is because it's a private company. Who's going to sit here and tell me what to do about my company and how I lose money or gain money? How are you going to justify that? So this whole argument is stupid.
What?
Whoever works for any company, you are subject to whatever you sign on your contract when you sign for that company.
The government can come in and put their boots on your neck, right?
Top dog, it doesn't matter. And
do rights apply to that?
I'm not even sure what point he's making.
I'm making the free speech point. You can't just sit here and say things and do things and not have consequences for whatever job you have. Doesn't matter if you're Joe Smo working at McDonald's or.
But should the government get involved in that?
What do you mean? The government didn't get involved in it. They just
Yes,
ultimately.
Yes, it did. That's the point.
They made the threat. They made the threat. The FCC made the threat. Bishop says, I would rather watch Conan O'Brien and his puppet dog instead of Jimmy Kimmel.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
But then he also says, I'll take Jay Leno over Jimmy Fallon. What's
all day long?
F out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Fallon should have never had his job in the first place. Let's be real.
Yeah, I agree. Dude, did you guys know that Jay Leno said that he would love to come back, and instead the network just completely got rid of late night altogether after Colbert? Like,
I'm not shocked.
Jay wanted to come back.
I'm not shocked. I feel like Jay Leno was the beginning of the decline of late night.
I like his car show. I like his garage.
Yeah, he's got some nice cars.
Bishop follows up again and says, son, give me Jimmy's swagger over Jimmy Kimmel.
Dude. Give me Angry Man over Jimmy Kimmel. Like, let's get Angry Man a late night show, man.
All right, I'm going to get angry about this one.
JB says Dems, P1, the right are fascists. P2, it is just to unalive fascists. Conclusion, it is just to unalive people on the right. Also, Dems, what? We're not inciting violence.
All right, so this is just stupid as all fuck. Just because I call Donald Trump a fascist does not mean that I am calling for political violence upon the man. This is ridiculous. I've heard this from so many people, and just all of this. It's just.
Are you a raving lunatic?
What is
it?
Just
no.
Start here. Start at
okay.
No,
so number one, wait a second. So number one, let's address that. You're not a raving lunatic, right?
No.
Okay, so you're not going to operate like a raving lunatic. However, if you're on the television every single day referring to Donald Trump as a fascist, saying that he's a dictator, all of this stuff, a raving lunatic on the left may be inclined to want to do something about that. So it's not about you as a person that have a rational mind. We're talking about individuals who are not rational minded and are impressionable and easily swayed to doing certain things.
Like, man, how many subscribers do you have?
Like how people used to get conned into sending televangelists money because they thought they were talking to them.
No, they just send Trump.
How many is Angry Man taking responsibility for all 800 some thousand of your subscribers' actions?
No.
Okay, so then why would Jimmy Kimmel take that responsibility that you won't?
No, that's not about this. Okay, so first of all, it's not about Jimmy Kimmel taking responsibility for the people that's watching him. The reason why Jimmy Kimmel is in the shape that he's in right now is because people who watch the show, not the lefties that agree with him, but most of the country that watches the show that are sick and tired of entertainers preaching to them. This is the reason why their numbers have went down. This is the reason why people would rather come here.
And over numbers. This was not a business.
Hold on for a second. Let me just say this before you go back into that. Okay. We get it. The FCC chair is Palpatine. We get it. But look, here's the thing. When you have this constantly going on, because this has been a constant decline, not just in late night talk shows, but in news, movies, television shows. People are sick of it. So Jimmy Kimmel just finds himself in the middle of the perfect storm right now. You can sit there and say, well, it was because of the FCC chair, but I guarantee you it wasn't just because of that. That probably added to it. But he already was his way out the door.
Maybe, but it happened the day after the threat. And if you're basically being told, get rid of him or we're putting you out of business, you can move forward assuming that's the reason that he was gone the next day.
Big question. How do you put them out of business, bro? How would they go about putting them out of business? Answer that question.
Because the FCC issues licenses to broadcasters. If the SEC does not renew a broadcaster's license, they cannot operate.
What else is going on other than that, though, right?
Paramount, they're not a cable channel; they're broadcast channel.
Disney are getting ready to do a merger, right? Like $1 trillion merger, right? And not being able to have like the government involved in that would be pretty cool. So
Nexstar is trying to have a merger that that supersedes the limit that a company is supposed to have as far as the number of broadcasting stations. So they really need the FCC on their side right now because they want them to break a rule.
Yeah, extend their monopoly. They want to make that bigger.
Screw us all
Here's
over.
the thing: like we're not acknowledging, because you also have the Skydance and Paramount merger, right? We're not acknowledging that just maybe, just like somebody said earlier, this is the pendulum swinging back the other way.
Yep. I've been waiting for this since like 2017.
If I shoot somebody and they die, but they had cancer as well, would I get charged with murder?
Cancer. You just cured cancer. That's I would put you in jail.
Is that a murder? Is that a murder defense then? Well, he had cancer anyway, so it was going to happen.
Yeah,
I would put you in jail for curing cancer.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying, but the point that I'm making,
trying to disagree, but I'm like winning at whack-a-mole up here. Pop up.
Striking it Rich says Flo is right. It's a slippery slope, and people on the right cheering on someone being canceled is peak irony. The small hats are rubbing their hands. Ooh.
No, we're not doing that.
And JB says,
"Can we just clear that?"
JB says, "I'm so eager to hear your opinion, grown man who collects toys."
You're right.
Not toys.
I'm gonna tell you three of us up here.
Oh, fucking second.
We'll see your.
I am a grown ass man, and I love Transformers, and I am completely unashamed of that. And if you want to make fun of me for that, fuck you.
Yo, Sam Hyde,
you didn't even have to do that, bro. I got it. You didn't have to do that. Put me on the screen.
Wow.
Put me on the screen.
Glorious collection.
Oh, I see computer equipment too. Oh, we've got things in common, Sam Hyde.
My virginity is growing back the longer I look at that.
No, actually, I have two
I didn't see any
of the
second
six.
place
I have
trophies.
2 of the 6 of Devastator right now.
That's awesome.
I'm working on getting the rest.
Hashtag let's buy Flow State action figures to fill his background.
Yes,
I'm proud to not even know what those are.
I'm going to head out. Yeah. So thanks for having me on, Sarah.
Oh, you know what?
Thank you, Kay. Have a wonderful
Good night, Kay.
Good night.
Yeah, I was gonna say no attacking dudes that collect.
Yeah, you got the Thundercat sword, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got.
Holy shit!
Have you got the Highlander sword yet?
Nah, I haven't got that one yet.
Dude, I know a toy collection that we could all pay to get Flo to have in the background.
Real men have real swords, bro.
Yeah.
Don't you have the Infinity Gauntlet too?
My sword's a little bit limp. I got a limp sword.
Hey, can we clarify something really quick? If this was just a normal canceling, if this would have been just like a whole bunch of right-wingers got together and they were pissed about what he said about Charlie Kirk and they had some kind of movement that influenced the company and they fired Kimmel because of that, I would not be complaining.
No problem.
This is
about the government putting its boot on the neck of someone over a license that will end their company.
Don't discount the fact that people did write letters to the company and tell them they didn't want Kimmel around anymore.
Nobody got a letter to Kimmel in one night.
They did. They have things like Twitter and an email you can reach out to them with and all sorts of stuff. There were people writing to.
I'm gonna come into your animated world just to light your cartoon caricature on fire.
People tell companies how much they hate their employees all the time.
They just wouldn't listen.
This was
for the
a
past 10
direct
years.
threat from the FCC. That's why he got let go.
But Trump makes direct threats to news corporations all the time, and they don't always just start firing people, do they?
It's not a suggestion.
What's the job of the FCC?
If you have the option between doing what I say and dying, that's not a choice.
And I don't know who said that Disney and Paramount was merging, but they got their information wrong.
What up, Chuck?
It is not Disney and Paramount.
I didn't say Disney
Chuck, you know
and
about
Paramount.
broadcasting.
Somebody did.
I said,
Chuck, you understand broadcasting, right?
Yes, sir.
Can a broadcaster stay in business if they're not allowed to broadcast?
Well, I know when I lived in St. Louis, which is a fairly good sized market.
Why are you telling a story?
I kind of want to know now.
Because you got the pink shirt on, you act like a woman. Settle down.
It says maybe I am the drunk.
Your estrogen is overtaking the market in St. Louis.
Well, damn.
Soy milk.
What'd you say?
Such a problem differentiating between gender and sex, but you actually don't.
Soy state.
Tell us your
I'm
story.
waiting. But in the market, and I'm trying to remember the instance, but they refused to air a national broadcast. Instead, they reverted to, they just put on some local programming in place as a protest.
Okay. For how long?
And I forget what the incident was. But from what I'm reading, there was 24 out of 26 local stations that refused to air Kimmel any further.
And all of them were owned by
one company.
All of them were owned by one company.
There was two companies, Sinclair, and what was the other one? Nexstar? Yeah. So, whoa, don't put this ugly mug on this screen like that. But
tell us your story.
Hold on. Here's the thing, Chuck.
And the violence for you.
I didn't. Somebody else was talking about that. I said there's a merger going on between Skydance and Paramount. That's what I was talking about.
Somebody else said Disney and Paramount.
Oh.
And as a Disney shareholder.
Disney had some type of piece.
I believe they own the entire thing when it comes to the network that Kimmel was on. I believe they do.
I still push back on the issue that just because Donald Trump's president and the FCC is a government agency, that they can just ultimately just take somebody's license. Ultimately, if you look at the process,
they dropped a threat.
You have to go through a lengthy court process to actually pull it because the freedom of speech part. So
No,
the fact
you really
is,
don't.
You don't. Yeah.
No, you can just take the license and then the court process.
No, that's not how it works. You
don't go back for your license. No,
the
they
court
can just
process goes first, and then they take the license when they.
You're talking about revoking, and I'm talking about expiring. They expire automatically.
Oh shit! I looked down and I saw Soy State down there when you talked, Flo. I almost like, what the fuck is that?
What, did I get a name change?
No, there's a photo change on the StreamYard though.
What is that?
Look at you down there.
What is the show? What show was Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar? What's the name of that show?
The View.
The View.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's also the FCC chair said, give us a definition. Are they a news program or not? Because depending on which way they choose, they may be forced to offer equal airtime to the opposite side.
Yeah.
Just another
in order to
turn of the
retain
ring.
certain designation, right? And that's the thing, the difference, right?
It's just to keep the integrity of fair reporting.
Right.
Right. Well, and categorization, right? So if you're lopsided, then you fall into a different broadcasting license category. So if they wanted to maintain the same license, they would have to be more balanced. But what's unprecedented really across all of government regulation, as far as I'm aware, is a government saying specifically, you have to fire this employee because what he said was offensive and we deem it
I
incorrect.
think you're overreaching your statements. And that's
Technically, the last time it happened was with Nixon.
And then Elite Eater. So I want that name, Elite Eater.
Yeah.
Once again, the horseshoe.
Whoa, no, that's a man's name, Sarah.
I love food. Once again, the horseshoe theory of the political spectrum, far left and far right, are almost mirror images of each other. The open end of both about
equal and poop. Equal and shite.
Equality and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good way to put it. I like how Sarah she de-scrambled that message that came through the airwaves.
Normally I can't. Normally I'm like, I had nothing. I don't know what I'm saying.
Better than Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you're gonna be a pro at reading Morse code. You keep doing this stream.
How did we get two flow states on panel? That's scary.
I didn't point
why,
that out.
Why don't we have more is the real question. Some of y'all need to change your avatars.
We can do that. I could. I'd have to make myself actually a little bit more.
You need to get me a Pope state.
My hard drive isn't big enough to hold your ego, Flo.
There's Flo's favorite. There's Flo's favorite, his little toy.
That's what we should get. That Flo should have a shelf of those things behind him.
There you go. There's your toy collection.
Anything is a dildo brave enough.
Yeah, if you're brave enough, dude, you got like cacti up there, you know.
Lindsay's not here.
You ever watch those ER shows where they find things up there? They get some weird stuff.
Oh, I went to school with some nurses. Woo. The stories they told.
What was that guy's name? Wang, the guy on YouTube. You guys ever watch his video about weird things found on ER or on X-rays? And he talks about that dude that put the thermometer.
If we watched a dude named Wang do weird
Asian guy. He's been on YouTube for years. Yeah, Wang. And he talked about it.
Isn't with the FCC right now really no different than when the FCC took all the labels and music artists to court and made them put parental advisory stickers on their albums?
Parental advisories were voluntary to each artist got to choose if they wanted it or not.
Where does everyone stand on the participation trophy concept?
It's retarded.
Writing with the idea, even all the way up to the DEI hires and so on and so forth. Where's everybody stand with that?
If everybody's a winner, nobody's a winner.
Coaches, you've all coached your son's teams. You've all coached your daughter's teams and stuff, right?
If everybody's a winner, nobody's a winner.
There's a
go ahead, Fatty. Go ahead.
There's a reason, right, why every team gets a trophy.
Why?
Okay.
You guys haven't been parents of kids that play in like park and rec sports or what?
Yes. D-ball
doesn't suck.
So you're paying for select clubs.
So do you give all your kids birthday presents when it's one kid's birthday?
No.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
But I do on Christmas though, and I do at the
Well, Christmas is for everybody, but when it's someone else's birthday, when you have a birthday party, do you make sure everyone else gets a gift too?
I do solicit donations.
That way they don't see.
Right?
You lose.
Coach, right? As a coach, I like it when the parents ask and offer to do this because as a coach, right, it gives me like real opportunity for some team building, like we do after the game, right? Like learning how to take a loss.
Do you give them all the same trophy too?
You lose incentive to be better.
Why aren't you teaching them how to be winners? Hold on. Why are you teaching them to be losers instead of teaching them to be winners?
Because every team goes
exactly.
So the participation
clarify that.
When everybody wins and gets a trophy, nobody wins and gets a trophy.
If you as a coach think that your job is to teach your players how to be good losers, you are not a qualified coach. You need to get the fuck on.
Yeah, I would use it more as a motivation. Paul says, question for the panel. If woke is good for enlightenment, then why must it be forced upon us rather than let it be a natural process of knowledge?
I love this question because actually, from my understanding, woke comes from the Enlightenment period. Like that is actually where it comes from.
God.
But it's the extreme of it. So it's taking it's taken to extreme.
Woke is a thought.
So is enlightenment.
Terrorist is too.
Wait a minute, can I get my definition of woke?
Who's a woke thought?
So
your mom.
because
nice.
She is.
Because we've seen where staying awake can mean vigilant, right? So like when you look at the creation of the country, moving forward with what would be called liberalism, John Locke, right? That stuff. That's literally the definition of enlightenment. He used enlightenment in his theories to create his theories on what we actually use now in law. So now it's been taken to the extreme, way out on a limb.
You're thinking too hard about it. It's not really that deep.
No,
this is brick flow. He can't think because that requires a thought.
Here's the reason I want to bring this up, because I'm a solutions guy. I believe that
I'm an ass guy.
That we
are you?
I'm a pity guy.
Hey, agree.
Go ahead, Greg.
What if you got both?
I like solutions.
That's preferable. Yeah, that's a prerequisite. That's required.
You know what? Yeah, I think we're all going to change our answer.
Go ahead, Rick.
And And the solution for me is education in most things, right? Education. I believe that people really don't understand what they're getting behind, right? We've moved and we've achieved a lot with what we would call enlightenment and liberalism in the law, right? So we have the 14th Amendment now. Hey, that's great, but we don't need to push it so far that social justice becomes something like firing somebody over free speech. That's crazy. That's crazy.
This moment, this era in history, in human history, if we survive it, it is going to be considered one of the dumbest eras in human history, because we actually think that we're enlightened and we're still pretty barbaric in some of the things that we're doing, and we're acting like it's not barbarism. It's kind of like when you look at the videos from the pandemic and you see people walking around with trash bags on and freaking and we can look back at it now and be like, oh my God, we were idiots. Like, what are we doing? It's the same thing with this entire concept of wokeness and all of this. If we survive it, we're gonna look back and say, okay, we were enlightened.
Like, but we're not going to get smarter and stop making dumbass mistakes. We'll make dumbass mistakes in the future too. Like that's,
yeah. Well, I look forward to the future where I make bigger and dumber mistakes as time goes on. It's going to be.
I have
wonderful.
been making bigger ones as I mature as well. Like
I want to, man. That's just what else is life.
I can't wait till I'm old enough that it's expected that I make mistakes.
Well, let me. One of the mistakes you made, that why I came up on panel. May I do that, gentlemen? Is that okay?
Who made a mistake?
You and Trippy together.
Oh no,
both of you. Yes. Are you ready? I'm gonna spank your ass, Trippy. Now listen.
Whoa, I'm in. I'm
used to it now.
It's like a watch. Come here. I charge admission now.
Was Trippy the ass man? I didn't hear who was the ass.
Bruised. What's your cash app from last time?
I don't know. Are you an ass guy, Trippy?
Hey, Flo said, "What's your cash app?"
Oh, my cash app. It's on my page. Look, gentlemen, it's not all about the FCC. Okay. Like, you have frontmen for a reason, all right? It's like when there's things happening in contracts or squabbles or anything with a label or a production company or a network, they'll have a frontman and they'll put out the reason why, but it's not really the reason why. And I'll tell you the reason why. His contract, Kimmel's contract, was up in May this year. Does anybody know this?
Okay,
well, I know that
there's back to the shooting somebody with cancer analogy. So fucking what?
Yeah, his contract.
Well, the point is he was already up on the chopping block. His contract was up. So the mere fact that this happened during that time frame, then it's a perfect excuse to let go. And the ratings are down. The controversy is up. Hold on. Let me finish. Second of all, I watched the clip of Kimmel. I don't believe.
Well, hold on. No, let's address the first bad point before we move on.
The bad point. All right, sure. What is it?
Okay, when is his contract up?
It was May this year.
Oh, it's already expired?
Yes.
So they were keeping him on.
Well, you can't just get rid of somebody like that. There has to be something to replace it, or they have to cancel it.
They were in a decision.
They were in negotiations.
Right. Keep in mind, ABC is owned by Disney, which is the biggest woke company.
But it has nothing to do with the fact that. But that has nothing to do with the fact that the contracts were in negotiations already. Okay, so this was the perfect excuse.
Matters.
Yes, it does, because it's called trimming the fat. If the ratings aren't there, the money isn't there.
Trim fat. I don't care how bad your health is. If I shoot you in the head,
I don't know what the reference to the health is.
I'm raising my little hand. Effigy is correct. His contract was going to be up next May, 2026.
So no matter if he's on the air or not, he still gets his money because that's what a pay or play contract is.
Yeah, they have to pay. Yes.
If somebody's gonna die in the future, anyways, if I shoot them and they die now from the gun wound, I murdered them. Right? That's murder. If he was gonna get fired in the future, maybe not. Doesn't matter what would have happened. That didn't get a chance to play out because the FCC capped him.
I don't know what. How did that case end with Dr. Kevorkian? Because
you're missing the point. How many of you are from the industry? Raise your hands.
We're all in the industry right now.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're
You
on
don't have to be in the industry to understand how contracts work.
No, hold on.
This is show
for the
business
common
right
man.
now.
It's
We
being
are in show
infiltrated.
business right now. This is show business. Yes.
It's being infiltrated by the networks. There's a lot of industry plants right now. I could be one.
Hold on. If
Right.
the government steps in
Hey, I
and tells
see you.
YouTube to get rid of somebody, that's a problem.
Hey, I've been telling them to get rid of the guy
You
for
guys don't
years.
understand how contracts work, so therefore you're not in the industry. If you're not signed
But
by a major
again,
label,
YouTube
a major
has
corporation,
already
you're not in the
done
industry. Sorry,
How
you're not.
how a contract works? Wait,
Hold on. Yeah. So what is it about Jimmy Kimmel's contract that you think is unique to contracts that we
It's
can't
not
understand?
unique. There's nothing unique about what has happened. It was just a perfect excuse to trim the fat, get rid of the rate, get rid of the guy with the low ratings. No one watches TV anymore.
Could the company have said no?
I suppose I'm not them. This is not. It's not up to me. I've seen
You're
it
right.
happen
You're
before.
right. No, nobody gets to actually know what could have happened because they did what the FCC said. But just walk through the mental process. What would have happened if the company was like, "No, we're going to keep Kimmel on," and the regulators like, "Okay, well, we're not going to renew your licenses." How would that have affected the company?
It would have affected them majorly, but that's not going to
It would
happen
have
because they make
ended
a
the company.
shit ton of money. They deal with all kinds of stuff.
What
Yes.
we're working with is they did not have a choice. It was get rid of him or you're toast.
A threat. A
That's
literal
not
threat.
true. You keep saying that they're not just toast.
Yeah,
No,
it
literally
seems to be that way. It seems to be that way.
The quote
It seems to be that way.
Quote
You guys are still buying the bullshit.
what?
That's
You know
that's
what
the
Carr said?
problem. Is
You know
you
what
guys
Carr
are still
said?
buying the bullshit. Huh?
Do you know what Carr said? Do you know what the guy
Go
said?
ahead and tell me.
So the guy
But
said we
should
can
we
do
just
this
watch
the
him say
easy
it?
way or we can do this the hard way. That's what he told ABC.
Like that, exactly like that. Those words.
So
Yes.
what is it? What is
Yes,
it you're trying
exactly
to say?
those words.
That they were
Yes.
threatened? You think that threats don't happen all the time behind
So
the scenes?
a threat's okay though. A threat's okay.
Yeah,
No,
it
this
happens
is
to them all the
this is
time.
part of the
So it's
course,
okay
honey.
for the
This is
government
part
to
of
just
the
come in
course.
and threaten
It
people.
happens
This
all
one
the
didn't
time.
even have corruption happens behind the scene. This wasn't behind the scene.
Doesn't matter.
It was during a podcast, like Floyd was telling
I
me.
already made the
doesn't
point.
matter
You guys,
that
it's
the government's
nefarious.
corrupt. When
This
the
is
government's
nefarious
corrupt,
point.
you're saying, oh,
I
it's all
don't-
good because you
Look,
know it's my
Well, Clay
feelings.
or Brick, I don't see it as government corruption. I see it as, a lot of people wanted to see Jimmy Kimmel off the air for years. And I
Yeah.
see it
But
as there
only
being
one
multiple.
person
Hold on a second.
Mattered.
There's multiple excuses for why this happened. The fact is, it already fucking happened, right? I know we can complain about it. We can say like that's
Well,
stifling
I'm
free
not
speech,
complain-
but
I'm not.
No,
complaining
I'm not
about
saying that
anything
you
at all.
are.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't care much for the guy.
I feel like
right?
he
I
earned
didn't
it.
watch him. I didn't
He
even
sucks.
watch him.
He
sucks.
Yes.
Yeah, he
So,
sucks.
but
I'm
the
not-
problem for me has always been government corruption. I'm actually
Did
in
you
the
do that
business
again,
of
Nova? I
this.
was about to start agreeing with you, actually.
No, I refuse to let that happen. All right.
My other point is I watched the clip of what he said. He didn't really deserve to get kicked for that. He didn't really say anything that
It was smaller than others.
far. It wasn't that far out to get canned
It
for.
really
So,
wasn't that. Yeah.
No, it
but
really
my
wasn't.
point, and again, my point is not to defend Kimmel. I don't think he ever should have had the job. It's
No,
to
he should
attack
never had
the FCC chairman. He should not be doing that shit at all.
Let's see Sarah with a
Well,
late
it
night
just
show.
seems to
Or
be a
something.
I think what
government
I'm trying to
agenda.
propose to all of
Yeah.
you is this: don't buy
Girls
into
aren't
everything
funny.
that you see and everything that you hear. You
And that's
understand?
I agree with you now.
So the
Yeah,
government
they're
has
just
always had
bullshit,
agendas
though.
in media. If you
They're
go
gonna
back
tell us
lot of
whatever
shit
they want
going
us to
on.
hear.
Don't buy
movies that
into
have
it.
been released, a lot of them apparently have to be reviewed by military writers, especially ones that are dealing with war. So there's always been agendas being presented by the government. Like we
That's
have
not
freedom
exactly-
of speech, but we don't have freedom to broadcast. And I wouldn't say that it's corrupt. It's working as intended. It's just a change in agenda.
No, it's
And,
not
man.
working as intended. Look, businesses.
Well, it is.
The
That's how
FCC
it
is in
works.
charge of licensing. It's not in charge of HR for that company. To tell a company which employees it's allowed to employ is massive overstep in any industry at all.
Well, was it for
Unless you're
employment
cool
or
with
was it to get him off
fascism.
the air?
That's
Could he not
employment.
be employed by the company?
That is an employment decision.
Well, yes, but like, could he still have a job, a
I
position?
mean, as a
at the
janitor,
company?
I don't know. It didn't
Exactly.
get that far.
Well,
That's
the
not his
employment
job, though.
angle. But he
No,
doesn't
he
have the
didn't.
freedom
He
to
didn't get
broadcast
fired. He didn't get
nationally.
fired. His show was suspended indefinitely. That's not fired.
Right? It's like,
That's
hey,
what
we're
I'm
gonna put you
saying.
on hiatus for the rest of your life.
Technically not fired.
That's cop being suspended with pay.
JB says, woke presumes that there is no natural social cognition. It's all power and narrative control.
Correct.
David Loans says, Bino Nation salute. And then again, over on your side, Boot Ryan's twin Hitman. And we definitely do recognize Boots from all channels. So, and Hitman, this is officially a boot for the evening. If it's $100,
Right.
unless
Can I ask
somebody
him something?
chooses, hold on. Unless somebody chooses to revive you and save you, they can send $100 in to negate.
All right,
this
I'll stick
boot.
around. I got hope. Someone,
Yeah.
Well,
me.
I'm
I
gonna
need
give it. I always give it 2 minutes before I kick you out of the backstage. So
That's all that
but
anybody ever needs, isn't it?
it's all they need. Trippy wanted to ask you a question, and that should give us about 2 minutes, and then you can say your goodbyes.
Hey, Hitman, how do you look like a less straight Jeffree Star?
I don't know who is Jeffree Star. Is he all tatted up? Because I have
just
no
Google him.
I have no tat.
You'll think
That's
he's
messed
hot.
up.
He's a
Messed up,
lot more
Trippy.
thin than me, though.
You ain't shit for that, Trippy.
You don't watch SpongeBob? So
Hey, he's okay. He's a good sport. Is Ryan still back there, Sarah?
No, he
Aw.
left after that final boot. I think
Sadly, he
was-
died of an aneurysm.
The
I
last
think he
100
was-
that came
He was
through.
so
that didn't-
frustrated
having a
at black
stroke.
people who didn't realize that they needed saved by him that he stroked out. Rest in peace,
Yeah, I was
Ryan.
gonna say I'm sure he's having a stroke on his live stream right now.
So do I get to say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
There
I
it
just
goes.
want to reiterate my point that freedom of speech is not freedom of broadcast. It
Good
goes
point.
back to Elvis doing what he did, and there's always going to be a government agenda. And it seems like in the last 10 years, the government agenda has really shifted, and ABC and Disney have not aligned with the direction that we're going. And they're going to have to find one way or another to realign it into the way that Trump has forced or it's not even just Trump, it's the entire world, right? There's a lot of right wing movement, and for better or for worse, we might need it for the economy.
This take is as basic as your hair. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I kind of. There's always going to be censorship, especially when it comes to national broadcasting, and he can still say whatever he wants. He still has that right, but
He'll make
the
a
agenda,
YouTube.
and it's working as
You
intended.
don't think
It's
that's okay, I'll shut up.
He'll make
no,
a
they
YouTube
are.
channel.
They are, and it's
him-
for good or
let him
for
dig his own grave.
bad. But the public is being controlled by a narrative, and the narrative has changed.
So just so you know, broadcast that refers to press. Also 1A. Just so you know. So you're
Hey.
kind of off a little bit there.
What
It
part
doesn't
am I
matter.
off? You don't have the freedom to publish everything, but you have the
Say-
freedom to.
Yeah, so there are
to speak.
limitations on speech. There are limitations on press. There are limitations on there's limitations in the First Amendment, but that doesn't mean
Yeah,
that
built-in
what you are
limitations.
saying or what you're publishing all of a sudden just gets limited because of this thing that we call there are limitations. Those
All right.
limitations are that, and that's
Say
it.
goodbye,
Nothing new
Hitman.
though, right? So in the
Hitman,
movie industry,
Hitman. It's
All right.
$100 boot. I have to respect it. That's a lot of money for somebody to pay, and then you keep talking. Say goodnight.
Good night, everyone. God bless
Good
you.
night. Love you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I mean, but still to pick up on, like, as part of his point was about the broadcast
Leave.
aspect of it.
Oh
The
no,
thing is-
Anchorman's. Oh, hold on.
Oh, he's popping back.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you guys in the chat
I'm
want to help
laughing.
raise some money so Jimmy Kimmel can get a live stream, you just donate right to Sarah.
Yeah, no, but my point is,
Why would you undermine her like that?
why does free speech just overshadows like the private sector's ability to control whatever they put on the air, whether it's influence or not influence?
Your question doesn't even make sense.
Bro,
What are
you
you
don't make
talking
sense. That's all
about?
you say. You don't even.
I
like,
got a little
reply to
lost.
me.
Yeah, I got lost too. Can you kind of?
All right. So all right.
No shirt, no shoes, no service. I have the right to deny service to anybody. I have the right to deny
Hasn't the
employment.
government FCC been regulating speech for quite a while, especially on airwaves? I mean, there used to be a time when you couldn't say any curse words on TV,
right.
you know, or you would lose your show. There was a time when
this is not a categorical rule violation, right? There was not a FCC reg that he violated. This is a specific hit on a person. And that's what I'm saying. This.
Yeah, and people celebrate it because they've been waiting for so long.
People celebrate it because they're mad that douchebags are celebrating Charlie Kirk, right?
You're right. And you know,
it's reactionary.
After Braxton's done,
the Hegelian dialectic is working well on the useful idiots.
Yeah. No, all I was trying to say was, who are you to say what a private company can do because someone has free speech? Free speech doesn't mean you can just override and take control of a company and say whatever you want to say, and they can't do nothing about it because it's your free speech.
Who's overriding a company since saying whatever
That's
they
what
want?
you're saying. You're saying he should not have gotten fired, or people should have just.
I'm saying the company didn't have a choice in firing him or not.
A company always has a choice. They can either
not when the government says you have to do it, or we revoke your ability to be a
gun to your head and tell you to give me your keys. Do you have a choice about whether or not you give me your keys,
Mr. Braxton? Do you know?
It's
Mr. Braxton, do you know the trolley problem?
A little bit,
Mr. Braxton. Mr. Braxton, I have a question for you.
Until you go to court,
Mr. Braxton, I have a question for you. Do you know the trolley problem in philosophy?
Explain.
No, don't explain it. Just say yes and let's go.
So essentially, the government holding a firearm to your head and saying choose the 10 people or choose the one person. That's the trolley problem.
Oh, I mean, this issue is you're doing this hyperbole that's over exaggerated.
It's not hyperbole. It's not hyperbole. It's actually.
No, it's not, because
it's very easy to understand, man. And this is
a bad analogy.
So how is it a bad analogy, bro? How is the?
Can we hear from Nova?
Yeah, what? I can't even hear the guy, honestly.
I just would rather listen to you than Brick right now.
Well,
you seem smarter than
especially
him.
Is your seat a little shaky? Is it bouncing or anything?
Don't you have to like raise it back up and sit back down in it?
Yeah, you know,
that would be wonderful.
You know, it happens, and I jiggle around a lot, and my legs sway. I'm nervous, you know.
It sounds more like coercion, not necessarily. The trolley problem is you have a scenario where there are victims in either direction, but in this instance, it just sounds more like a coercive. I'm going to just force you to do something because I want you to do it. The victim mindset would not necessarily be in one way, but only in the other because it's forced, right? But I don't think it's a trolley scenario.
It's either Kimmel loses his free speech, which is it's an issue, right?
You don't have, but hold on,
he doesn't lose his free speech. He has the freedom to speak his speech on any other platform, just not that one anymore.
Right? It's not. Again, people keep confusing between like a private platform and then the idea of I could walk outside and say whatever I want to say. Now, even if I walk outside and say whatever I want to say, I am still not I'm still subjected to consequences from my peers,
from
my
the government. It is illegal
not from
for
the government, not from the government,
Right.
from the government. But when it comes to a private platform, right?
That
you know,
didn't have a choice in whether or not I hired him.
I'm not.
Why do you keep making arguments if you?
He was saying something else. He was saying that the idea. Anyways,
can I say what I was saying because I didn't get a chance to say it
because it sucks. Let's.
If
y'all won't let Sarah finish. This is so sexist. I'm so offended.
Right, man. It is. It's sexist and it's racist against blonde women, and it's heightist because some of us are taller than Sarah.
Yeah, and me.
Everyone's taller than me.
I think I'm your height.
Actually, the funny part is I blew a lot of the guys.
I figured it was about time I hit play on that one.
You'll never get rid of that clip. I love how
That's
he
right.
strategically left the tail end of that sentence off of there.
Yeah, I cut it off.
How
You can kind of tell a little bit.
convenient. Draco says Jimmy pushed a lie. The assassin was MAGA. He got the smoke.
Yeah, that was a lie. I mean, the guy did admit that he was a hardcore leftist. His father said that he was kind of a really staunch leftist even before that. I believe the girlfriend or roommate, whichever it was, also commented something similar. There's a few family members that came forward. I wanted to bring up somebody after you read this.